My name is Ben Savoie. I'm the District Forester for Barrie, Allegan, and Ottawa Conservation Districts, and I want to thank you all for coming out to this event. This is the Spongy Moth Field Management Field Day, sponsored by the American Tree Farm System. If that's where you signed up to be, you're in the right place. So, we are here at the lovely Ebersol Nature Center, which is owned by the Lansing School Districts. I'll have Ben Botwinski, who's the director here, talk about that in just a moment. And we also have a great speaker from Bartlett Tree Service, Nick Fortuna. He'll be talking a bit about some management options and the life cycle management options for the spongy moth outbreaks that have been occurring for the past few years. So this field day, I want to go over a few different things. First will be the American Tree Farm System and how we can build forest resilience to help prevent these outbreaks from being as bad as they are. We'll talk about the spongy moth and its life cycle, and we'll talk about management options for that invasive species. And then we'll actually do a demonstration on how to do an egg mass survey on your own property so you can determine for yourself if a treatment of some sort is needed for your property. And after that, we'll go over review and questions. So without further ado, I'll bring up Ben Botwinski to talk about the Ebersol Nature Center.
Thanks, Ben. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ben Botwinski. I'm the director here at the Ebersol Center. Oops, I'm sorry. I'm the director here at the Ebersol Center, and excited to have everybody here. Just wanted to tell everybody just a little bit about the Ebersol Center and the history of the Ebersol Center, so you can appreciate that when you're out and about today. So the Ebersol Center is owned and operated by the Lansing School District. And you might be thinking to yourself, geez, why is it 75 miles away from Lansing? And the answer to that question is the property owners. So prior to being bought by the Lansing School District, this property was owned by the Olds family, as in Oldsmobile, and they're a Lansing-based family. And so in the late 1960s, the Lansing School District were bringing kids to Yankee Springs to do some tent camping and rustic camping, and it grew. It was a super popular program, and they said to themselves at that time, geez, we should really start thinking about trying to find a place where we can permanently provide these kinds of experiences for kids. And they started a search statewide to find some property, and the Olds family stepped up and said, geez, we have a place that's just down the road from that. We don't really use it. It was kind of a hunting and fishing playground for them. There was no infrastructure here. And they said, gosh, we could, we'd be happy to sell this to you. So I think they sold it to them for $1 in 1968. And they were bringing kids here with really little to no infrastructure for almost a decade. And in 1975, they started some construction. And in 1977, the Ebersol Center opened. And so during that time, it served almost 200,000 students from the Lansing School District. Every year, we see close to 5,000 campers here. It's a residential experience, so it's an environmental education center, but it's also a youth camp. And we do programming around environmental education. That's the backbone of our work. But we also do outdoor recreation, traditional kind of camp activities. We do a lot of stewardship activities and team building opportunities for our kids. So we see students all 4 seasons of the year. I was telling a few of the guests that are here that are local that, we took a hit, of course, during COVID, but we've really rebounded, and this will be, I've been here for 6 years, this will be our busiest year since, so it's really awesome to start seeing that people being much more comfortable being back outside and in communal spaces. So anyways, we're super excited to have you here. Just a couple of quick housekeeping things. There are restrooms in the back through these doors to the left. There are restrooms there. There's Wi-Fi. You should be able to get on guest Wi-Fi with no password. So if you need to use the Wi-Fi, you're welcome to do that. And then I'll be around for the entire afternoon with you. So if you have any questions, feel free to find me, and I'd be happy to chat with you a little bit more about the center. So thanks, Ben.
Thank you much, Ben.
Yeah, of course.
And we'll have Nick Fortuna introduce himself and talk about a little bit about Bartlett Tree Service and what they can provide for landowners.
Absolutely. Thanks, wherever this clips. So my name is Fortuna. I'm with Bartlett Tree Experts. I've been with Bartlett Tree Experts since 2017, I want to say. Immediately started with them right after I graduated from Michigan State. I studied horticultural science, got my bachelor's, fell in love with trees, and now here I am. I'm here to help protect them. And my current position is I'm an arborist rep, so I am essentially the first point of contact where we get called out, go to a site, your property, and we discuss trees. We figure out what the problem is, and we come up with solutions that you might be able to tackle, solutions that our services can help with. But prior to becoming an arborist rep, I was the plant health care specialist. I was the one out there treating for the pest diseases. I've done countless gypsy moth treatments. There was an outbreak up in Muskegon, like Muskegon Community College, where we provided treatments late at night when nobody's there to tackle the population up there, because it was problematic, because all the oaks in their parking lots and in the a wood lot were essentially bare. So we went in and we treated those. Now typically we don't treat for gypsy moth too much, and I can go over why in our slides, because there are a plethora of management options. But Bartlett Tree Experts, again, we have like 140 acre lab in the Carolinas with 15 plus PhDs, doctorates that are dedicated to studying trees. We pull samples, we send it their way, and their job is essentially to make sense of things. So a lot of the notes that I got, it's taken from our local researcher based out of the Morton Arboretum in Chicago. His name is Dr. Chad Rigsby. And they work with other scientists, with universities, to figure out the best management practices to care for our trees. So, but that's me, Bartlett. I'll let you take it back, Ben.
Thanks so much. So now we're going to get more into the meat and potatoes of why we're all here today, why we care about forests and managing the pests and the health of our forests. The first thing that I want to bring up with that is that the American tree farm system provides quite a lot of benefits for people who are trying to manage their land. If you're familiar with tree farm at all, you may have seen the signs by registered tree farms, these big diamonds that say all the things that these people care about: the water, the woods, recreation, wildlife. The American tree farm system was started in the 40s by private forestry with Weyerhaeuser, and they provided, they basically wanted to show that private landowners could manage the land just as well as the United States Forest Service or the state government could. And they've been doing it ever since. So they have kind of a 4-point method of trying to keep forests healthy and recognize the work that private landowners are doing in the forest. The first is stewardship. They have 8 standards of sustainability that were just updated in 2021. They update these on a very, very regular basis and are kept to the highest standards so that people who are trying to certify their woods know that they're doing what is the best practice for forest management. What goes along with that is getting a management plan, following relevant laws, doing what you can to prevent erosion and deterioration of air, water, and soil quality, and furthermore, protecting these special sites, things that are either archaeologically important or special to you as the landowner, whether that's your favorite hunting blind, a rare ecosystem, or these Native American sites that are often found in private lands. So when we want to to promote a healthy forest, the things that are resilient to invasive species and pests that come in. We think about tree farm because they are a kind of the top of the line for keeping forests healthy for the longest time. The things that go along with getting the sign, you get your recognition for work done. It's a really good way to show that you're active and involved with your environment and with your community. With the community, it helps keep you involved for the long term by having the foresters that are involved, like myself or other service foresters, every 5 years coming in to re-verify the property and see if there's anything that you need help with, anything that you need a forester to come in and help with on the property, such as spongy moth or the various symptoms of infestation. And finally, it helps keep a legacy of your forest management. You want to promote the best management possible and keep that going through your family and through the next ownership for the property. So it's a really good program. I highly recommend it. If you're interested in doing any forest management at all, look up Michigan Tree Farm and see if you are eligible for the property for the program. It's 10 acres or more, so it's a really small acreage to try and get enrolled into that. All right, so now we're going to talk about the pest itself, the theme of the hour. Spongy moth has been around since, I want to say, the 1800s. It was brought in as a failed silkworm experiment because they thought that this insect produces silk. It does not. And it was released into the landscape and has been causing us some grief ever since.